Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is your essential briefing on the really significant current affairs from June 5th, 2025. We've tailored this specifically for you, the UPSC aspirant.
That's right.
Think of this as part one of today's exploration. We've pulled together a whole stack of recent sources.
And our job really is to unpack all that, cut through the noise, and pull out the key knowledge nuggets and insights.
Exactly, kind of a shortcut to staying well-informed and ahead of the curve.
And as we go through this, remember how important it is to connect the dots between these different areas? Some topics might ring a bell too.
Oh, absolutely. Some might be things you've studied before, so this could be a great chance for a quick revision.
Perfect for reinforcing that knowledge.
So settle in, maybe grab a notebook if that helps you track these connections. Let's get started.
Sounds good.
Oh, and just quickly before we dive in, if you find this session helpful, please do take a second to like and subscribe. It really does help us reach more learners.
We'd appreciate it.
Okay, let's unpack this. Starting with some interesting updates from the environment front.
Okay.
First up, the Karinga Wildlife Sanctuary. This is down in Andhra Pradesh, part of the Godavari estuary.
A really unique landscape there.
It really is. You've got this mix of sea backwaters, creeks, tidal influences, plus extensive mangroves. Actually, the second largest mangrove area in India.
Which is significant in itself.
And some dry deciduous forests, too. Key plants like Rhizophora, Avicennia, Sonertia.
And the big news coming out of Karinga involves the Wildlife Institute of India, the WII. Their experts have managed something quite remarkable.
Oh,
For the first time ever in India, they've successfully collared endangered fishing cats right there in the sanctuary.
Wow, fishing cats. Okay, so why the collars? What are they hoping to learn?
Well, it's all about understanding the basics, really. Things like their home range, how much space do they actually need, their behavior, their breeding habits, and crucially, what they're eating, their prey pattern.
Right, building that complete picture for conservation.
Exactly. This data is absolutely vital if you want to create effective long-term strategies to protect them in this specific, very important habitat.
Makes sense. And the fishing cat itself, remind us. Medium-sized, tends to be solitary, nocturnal.
A fantastic swimmer.
Yeah.
Perfectly adapted for wetlands, mangroves.
And their conservation status is quite serious, isn't it?
It is. IUCN lists them as vulnerable. They're also in CITES Appendix 2, and under India's Wildlife Protection Act, 1972, they get Schedule A protection.
So the highest level in India.
The highest level. And it's worth remembering, Karinga isn't just about the fishing cats.
Right, there's more there.
Absolutely. Smooth Indian otters, jackals, lots of bird life too. Think black-capped kingfishers, Brahminy kites, and it's a key breeding spot for olive ridley turtles along the coast.
And the Godavari River flows right through, shaping it all.
Precisely.
Okay, so from conservation efforts in one river system to another one facing, well, some challenges, let's talk about the Koolsi River.
Ah, yes, the Koolsi, a tributary of the Brahmaputra on the south bank.
Just to place it geographically, it forms from three rivers, the Kri, Krishna, and Umsiri, starting up in Meghalaya's West Khasi Hills.
Right.
Then it flows north into Assam and joins the Brahmaputra near Nagarbera. It's about, 220 kilometers long, split between the two states?
Roughly, yes. With a decent-sized drainage area. Now, the concerning part is that the Assam and Meghalaya governments are planning a hydropower project on this river, about 55 megawatts.
And this is controversial.
Very much so. It's moving ahead despite some pretty clear warnings from environmental experts about the potential ecological fallout.
And is there a specific ecological reason why this river is so sensitive?
There is, a very critical one. The Koolsi River is seen as one of the last remaining safe havens in Assam for the endangered Gangetic dolphin.
Platanista gangetica.
Exactly. So this hydropower project naturally raises huge concerns about how it might affect the river flow, the water quality, basically the whole habitat these dolphins depend on for survival.
It really throws that conflict between development and conservation into sharp relief, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Okay. Let's shift focus now to a major international event, World Environment Day. It's coming up soon, June 5th.
Always June 5th, yeah.
Celebrated every year, coordinated by UNP, the UN Environment Program. Over 150 countries usually take part.
It goes way back, doesn't it?
It does. Established back in '72 at the Stockholm Conference on the Human Environment. That's the same conference that set up UNP itself. The first celebration was in 1973.
With the theme, Only One Earth. Simple but powerful.
So what's the focus for 2025?
This year, the host nation is the Republic of Korea, and they're putting the spotlight firmly on the urgent need to beat plastic pollution. That's the official theme for 2025.
Beat plastic pollution. Okay, and it changes each year, right? Different host, different theme.
That's the model.
Yeah.
And just looking ahead, Azerbaijan is set to host in 2026.
Good to know. All right, let's switch gears completely now from environment to economy and wealth. The World Wealth Report 2025 is out.
From the Capgemini Research Institute. Covers a lot of ground, 71 countries.
And a key finding for India.
A significant rise in wealth held by high net worth individuals, or HNWIs, up 8.8% in 2024.
Okay, HNWI. Let's just clarify the definition used in the report.
Sure. They define it as someone with investable assets of $1 million or more. Importantly, this excludes their main home, collectibles, things like that.
Just investable assets.
Right. And they break it down further. You have the ultra HNWIs at $30 million plus, mid-tier millionaires between $5 and $30 million, and then the millionaires next door from $1 to $5 million.
Got it. And the specific numbers for India at the end of 2024.
The total number of HNWIs reached 378,810. Their combined wealth, $1.5 trillion.
Wow. And the breakdown.
The largest group was the millionaires next door, 333,340 of them, holding about $629 billion. The ultra HNWI group was much smaller, 4,290 individuals, but they held a very significant chunk, nearly $535 billion.
Interesting distribution. How does this compare globally?
Well, globally, the HNWI population grew by 2.6% in 2024. But here's the interesting bit. That growth was really driven by the ultra HNWI segment. They saw a 6.2% increase.
Why such a big jump at the top?
The report points mainly to strong stock markets and a lot of optimism and investment related to artificial intelligence boosting portfolios.
Ah, the AI effect.
Seems like it. Another trend they highlight is more money going into alternative investments, private equity, crypto, making up about 15% of portfolios now.
And which countries are leading?
The U.S. is still way out front. They added over 500,000 millionaires, a 7.6% jump, now totaling nearly 7.9 million HNWIs. Holds huge percentages of the world's centimillionaires and billionaires.
And elsewhere, China, India.
China actually saw a small decrease, about 1%, but India and Japan both showed solid growth, 5.6% each. That meant about 20,000 new millionaires in India and 210,000 in Japan. So different stories across the major economies.
Fascinating dynamics. Okay, let's pivot again. International relations, geography, a place that's often in the news. The Kerch Strait.
Yes, critically important location.
Its significance is pretty straightforward but huge. It's the only natural channel connecting the Black Sea to the smaller Sea of Azov.
That's the key. The only way in or out by sea.
Geographically, it separates Ukraine's Kerch Peninsula, part of Crimea, from Russia's Taman Peninsula. And it's narrow, isn't it?
Very narrow at one point, just 3 to 5 kilometers wide. The city of Kerch is right there on the Crimean side. And because it's the sole passage, it's a vital shipping route.
Especially for trade involving the Sea of Azov.
Absolutely. And its geopolitical importance just skyrocketed after Russia annexed Crimea in 2014. It became a real choke point.
And the recent news.
Ukraine has claimed responsibility for setting off a powerful underwater explosion, apparently targeting the Kerch Bridge.
Right, the bridge itself, that's more than just concrete and steel, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. The Kerch Bridge, or Crimean Bridge as it's often called, finished in 2018. It was a massive symbol of that 2014 annexation.
Physically connecting mainland Russia to Crimea.
Exactly. Road and rail. It's the longest bridge in Europe, about 19 kilometers. So it's a critical supply line and a potent symbol. Any attack on it is strategically significant.
Understood. Okay, let's swing back to the environment, specifically wetlands conservation in India. And this is good news.
Always nice to have some good news.
2 new wetlands in Rajasthan have been designated as Ramsar sites by the Union Environment Ministry. They are Kichan and Minar.
That's excellent. Ramsar designation means they're recognized as wetlands of international importance. Big deal for conservation efforts.
Just for context, India's smallest Ramsar site is Renuka Wetland, right? And Rajasthan's first was Kiladeo National Park.
Correct, on both counts. And the ministry involved is the MoEFCC, Ministry of Environment, Forest, and Climate Change.
Okay, let's look at Minar first. Where is it and what's it like?
Minar is in the Udaipur district. It's basically a complex of freshwater ponds that fill up during the monsoon, Brahm Talab, Tan Talab, Kirodo Talab, plus surrounding farmland floods too, expanding the habitat.
And why is it internationally important?
It's got some really key features. It provides habitat for critically endangered vultures, the white-rumped and long-billed vultures. That alone is significant.
Definitely.
It also hosts a large colony of Indian flying foxes and mango trees. But what's perhaps most impressive is the community involvement.
Ah, the local people.
Yes. It's cited as a great example of community-led conservation. The villagers actively prevent poaching and fishing, really taking ownership of protecting the wetland.
That's fantastic to hear. Now, what about Kichan wetland?
Kichan is quite different. It's up in the northern Thar Desert in Phalodi district. It consists of two main water bodies, Ratri Nadi and Vijayasagar Talab, plus some riparian habitat and scrubland.
A wetland in the desert.
Exactly. Supports drought-resistant plants naturally. And amazingly, over 150 species of birds have been recorded there.
But there's one bird species it's particularly famous for, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. Kichan is world-renowned for hosting massive wintering flocks of demoiselle cranes.
How massive are we talking?
Over 22,000 of them descend on Kichan each year. It's an incredible spectacle. Yeah. Draws visitors from all over.
22,000 cranes. Wow. Okay, switching tracks again. Let's talk governance and international organizations. Some positive news for India here.
Right.
India has won the presidency of the International Institute of Administrative Sciences, the IIAS, for the term 2025 to 2028.
That is significant. And it's the first time India has held that position, right?
First time ever. So what exactly is the IIAS?
Well, it's been around since 1930. It's basically a federation. Its members include 31 countries like India, Japan, China, Germany, plus national sections and academic research centers.
And their goal?
Their core purpose is to collaborate internationally on finding solutions for public administration challenges, improving how governments work, essentially.
So things like joint projects, accrediting study programs.
Exactly. Sharing best practices, promoting research and public governance. Their headquarters are in Brussels.
And India's connection is through which department?
Through DARPG, the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances. They've represented India at IIAS since 1998.
And DARPG is the main agency for admin reforms in India.
That's right. It's also worth noting that while IIAS isn't formally a UN agency, it works very closely with UN bodies like SIPA and UNPAN, so it has considerable global influence.
And the 2025 IIAS conference is actually going to be in New Delhi.
Interesting timing. Likely where India's presidency will officially kick off then.
Seems likely. Okay, let's move over to agricultural research now. ICRISAT, the International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics.
ICRISAT, yes. Based here in India.
Established back in 1972, wasn't it? An agreement between India and CGIAR. It's a non-profit, non-political international research body.
That's right. And our focus is very specific and very important. Agricultural research for development, primarily in Asia and sub-Saharan Africa, particularly the dryland tropics.
So, areas facing water scarcity.
Precisely. Their vision is about creating prosperous, food-secure, and resilient drylands. They work directly to help farmers in these tough environments, tackling poverty, boosting livelihoods.
How do they do that?
A big part is developing and distributing improved crop varieties and hybrids, crops that are higher yielding, but also resilient to drought and climate change impacts. Their research focuses on 5 key drought-tolerant crops.
Those are?
Chickpea, pigeon pea, pearl millet, sorghum, and groundnut. Crops well suited to those semi-arid conditions.
Makes sense. Their main HQ is in Hyderabad, right? With hubs in Africa.
Yep, Hyderabad, Telangana, and regional hubs in Kenya and Mali. They even won the Africa Food Prize back in 2021.
So what's the latest news from ICRISAT?
They have just launched a new Center of Excellence. This is a joint venture with Resursus, the research and information system for developing countries.
And the focus of this new center?
It's specifically aimed at transforming agriculture in developing nations by promoting South-South cooperation.
So, countries in the Global South sharing knowledge and solutions among themselves.
Exactly. Leveraging shared experiences and expertise.
Seems like a valuable initiative. Okay, next up, an update on a government initiative here in India, C-CARES version 2.0.
Ah, yes, launched by the Coal Ministry.
What exactly is C-CARES 2.0?
It's essentially an upgraded web portal for the Coal Mines Provident Fund Organization, or CMPFO. It was developed by CDI.
CDDACE, right. Center for Development of Advanced Computing, and the purpose of this upgrade.
The main goals are to boost efficiency and transparency when it comes to handling Provident Fund and pension payments for workers in the coal sector.
Okay, making things smoother and clearer. How does it do that? What are the features?
Well, it brings everyone, the workers, the coal companies, CMPFO itself, onto one digital platform. This allows workers to track their claims in real time. It automates ledger keeping, which improves accuracy. And it enables direct benefit transfers to bank accounts with support from SBI.
So, faster payments, hopefully.
That's the promise. Faster settlements, better service overall. There's also going to be a mobile app for members.
What can they do on the app?
View their profile, track claims, raise grievances, check their balance. There's even a plan for a chatbot assistant.
And for the companies and CMPFO.
There's a dashboard feature for reports, analyzing trends, making more data-driven decisions. It's a big push towards digitizing the whole system.
Sounds comprehensive. Just for context, CMPFO is quite large, isn't it?
It is. It's an autonomous body under the Coal Ministry, established way back in 1948. It serves around 3.3 lakh PF subscribers and about 6.3 lakh pensioners, so impacting a lot of lives.
Definitely. Okay, finally for this part of our deep dive, let's touch on defense technology briefly. News about the Indian Air Force, the IAF.
Right. They're reportedly considering acquiring an advanced Israeli missile.
Which one is this?
It's called the Icebreaker, an air-launched cruise missile developed by Rafael Advanced Defense Systems.
Icebreaker, okay. What kind of missile is it?
It's described as long-range, autonomous, and precision-guided, launched from aircraft.
Any specs mentioned? Size, range?
Yeah. It's about 4 meters long, weighs under 400 kilograms. The range is stated as up to 300 kilometers, flying at high subsonic speeds, carries a 250-pound warhead.
And what makes it advanced? What are the key features?
Several things. It's compatible with different aircraft and even ground launchers. Uses an advanced electro-optical seeker, which means it can work in all weather conditions. It also has AI built in for target recognition.
AI for targeting.
Yes. And crucially, its flight path is designed to be very low terrain hugging or sea skimming. Combine that with a very low observable or stealthy design.
It's hard to detect.
Extremely hard for radar and air defenses. It can operate autonomously after launch, or an operator can stay in the loop for final adjustments. Plus, being relatively compact means you could potentially launch synchronized attacks with multiple missiles.
Interesting development to watch. Phew! Okay, that was quite a sweep across different domains.
It really was. From wildlife conservation in Karinga
to hydropower concerns on the Kulsi. World Environment Day's focus on plastic.
The trends in global wealth. The Kerch Strait flashpoint.
New Ramsar sites in Rajasthan. India's IIS presidency.
Acrosat's agricultural research. The Sea Cares portal upgrade. And finally, the Icebreaker missile.
It really highlights the breadth of current affairs relevant for UPSC prep, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And seeing how these varied topics, environment, economy, geopolitics, governance, technology, can sometimes connect is key. Building that rounded perspective is crucial.
And digging into the specific details, like why the fishing cats are being collared or what makes the Icebreaker missile advanced, that's where the real understanding comes from.
Precisely. So maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to mull over. How do these specific news items reflect broader trends?
Good question.
Like, how does the tension on the Kulsi River mirror wider debates about development versus conservation? Or how does India's HNWI growth, mentioned the Wealth Report, connect with other economic indicators you're studying?
Thinking about those bigger connections definitely adds another layer.
It does.
We encourage you to explore those links further on your own. Thank you so much for joining us for this part of the deep dive.
Thanks for listening.
And again, if you found this valuable, please do hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us keep these deep dives coming and reach more aspirants like you.
We really appreciate the support.
Stay curious, keep learning, and we'll be back soon with part 2 of today's Current Affairs briefing.